Hey everyone! So I want to thank you all for the overwhelming response that I got on my last video about the blog that I mentioned. So by the sounds of things you guys would be interested, so I did make one. It's www.kiz101.blogspot.com. It's the same as my username, just at Blogspot. And I'll be updating that a couple of times a week. There'll be swatches of products that I get. There'll be just still pictures, photos of the day, whatever I come up with. So we'll see what happens there, and I hope you guys like it, and I hope you all enjoy having a look at it. Feel free to check it out. If you don't like it, let me know and I'll do something about it, and we'll see what happens. On my last video, I did get a lot of comments asking for requesting a tutorial on mineralized skin finishes, and I've just been getting into them, but I absolutely love them. And they're something that is like a MAC pigment. They're really multi-purpose. So I'm going to share with you what I've actually discovered about the mineralized skin finishes quite recently, and so I hope you enjoy. Now, most of the mineralized skin finishes are actually limited edition, so you can't get them very often. They release them every now and then with a new collection. I know Brunette Blonde Redhead has actually got 3 new MSFs that aren't like your typical skin finishes, because they've got blocks, which will be easier to use just singular colours rather than the ones that have lots of veining. But recently they released 3 skin finishes for permanent sale, which is the Soft and Gentle, which is great because that's one of my favourites, which is a highlight colour mostly. And then you've got the Petticoat, which is more of a blush colour. You can use that as a really pale pink eyeshadow as well. And the So Ceylon, which is like a bronzer. And they're really nice colours. They're a good selection of colours, but every now and then they do bring out more limited edition ones which are worth checking out. I'm looking forward to the release of the new ones coming out in, I think it's February here. So yeah, with the MAC mineralized skin finishes, as I mentioned before, they're quite multi-purpose. You can use them for a whole range of different things. They come in a range of colours that are like, you can get your pinky colours like Petticoat, you can get more of your soft highlights like Soft and Gentle and New Vegas, and then you've got more your bronzer colours, which is like So Ceylon. Now, the most important thing with these is using the right brush, because you don't want these to sit on top of the skin. Because they are a skin finish, you want to be buffing them into the skin to get them to sit really nicely. So with something like Petticoat, I use the 109 brush, and I use this for most of my skin finishes because it's nice and firm and it buffs it right into the skin. So you can use this for blush. It's a multi-purpose brush as well. And all I do with the Petticoat is I buff it right into the skin on my cheeks, and it gives a really nice warm glow, and it also gives me a nice natural flush. Now, these ones don't only have to be used for blush. Because there are so many different colours, you can use them for things like highlights, which you can use the same brush and just buff it in. You can also use these for eyeshadows as well. Now, when I originally got New Vegas, I hated the texture because this isn't as smooth as the other skin finishes that I have. The other ones just blend in really nicely. I don't have much problem with them. But as you can see, this one is really glittery, and it's really quite chunky, and it sits on the skin. So I tried a few things with this, and this is the one that kind of is responsible for me experimenting with them. So I used this as an all-over skin finish. I wasn't overly fussed on the colour because it is quite yellow. And then I tried to use it as an eyeshadow. Now, I love these as eyeshadows. They are amazing. You can use them with a soft brush like this, like the 217, and it gives just a sheer wash of colour. Or you can use it wet with like a Teflon brush. Because these are mineralised, you can wet them. So I usually wet the brush and then sweep it across and use it as an eyeshadow and then blend it out and whatnot. And I love this one as an eyeshadow, just a wash of colour. It's really quite pretty. So pretty much these are mostly a face product. I prefer to use them as like a blush and a highlight and a bronzer rather than using them on my eyes, but they do give a really, really nice finish on the eyes. But if you are using them for like an eyeshadow, this is a huge eyeshadow. You'll never get through it. So the best thing to do when these come out at stores is to go and swatch them if you can, because you want to get the ones with the nice texture. So Ceylon and Soft and Gentle have got to be my favourite out of for texture, because these ones are really, really smooth and they just buff really nicely into the skin. But I've got nothing against the other ones. I still use them. I would prefer them to be a nicer texture and not so glittery. So I do prefer the other ones over like New Vegas and Petticoat, because they can be quite glittery. As long as you're using the right brush, just like a buff brush, it should be okay. They buff really nicely into the skin. You can use these as an all-over powder to give you a really nice, healthy glow, but you want to be using the right brush for that. So I hope this was useful. I personally don't know everything about the mineralized skin finishes, but this is just what I've figured out with them. They can be used for almost anything. You can use them all over the body as well. The bronzer colours, you can use them to even out tan lines. You can use them just to give yourself a bit of colour, especially in Australia because it's coming into summer, and yeah, if you're anything like me, you'd be pale too. But yeah, that's just what I found out about the skin finishes, and I hope this was useful, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.